I'm Alyssa Martin with Studio Martin, and this is an interior decor project that I have done in McLean, Virginia. So here at this home, we did 3 different rooms: the formal living room, the master bedroom, as well as her office. So here we implemented a lot of different decor pieces, as well as incorporating things that they currently had to complete the entire project. So initially I was introduced to this client by her contractor, and the initial project that they wanted to do was the kitchen and the bathrooms. But after we had a discussion, we really wanted to determine what was the thing that was going to bring the most value to the home and to their everyday lifestyle. And really ultimately, they just wanted the space to feel like a home and to feel well put together. So we decided to go with the decor and picked the rooms that they use the most first. And we tackled those, and we decided to go into the other parts of the projects at a later phase. So in the formal living room, we had a lot of pieces that they were bringing from their prior home. Just a couple here and there, but we wanted to make sure that we were able to blend those together to incorporate this style and still make it feel like it was home. Because there's a lot of pieces that people have that are connected with memories or maybe just a feel that they really like. So we decided to infuse that together, and they really wanted it to be modern, but casual and approachable. And this space kind of was like a nice blend of luxury but approachable, casual design. So it was traditional but had a little bit of modern flares here and there. So different elements that were really important to the design of this space was the livability and to make it feel more casual. So different ways that we did that, for example, was the specific fabric on the draperies. It's linen, and linen kind of comes off as a very casual fabric, but then it has an embroidery that's been incorporated into the fabric, so it kind of elevates the feel. But it's elegant yet casual at the same time. They have 2 young children, so having performance fabrics on the sofa as well as the chairs is really important. So if something does get on it, you can clean it easily, but also it's very durable. So any kind of playing on it, it won't take any damage. Another thing that was really kind of great was we incorporated the original faux finishing on the walls. Now, it was really hot in the 90s, but it does come back in a certain way. And I think it was something that was great to incorporate, also help save a little bit, but it also adds a lot of texture and depth to the space. And speaking about texture and depth, that's another thing that is, I think, important to take into consideration. You want to think about color variation, different patterns that you can incorporate that are in similar color tones or feels. So you will see that like within the rug or within the stools that are in front of the fireplace, or different pieces have like rattan or texture, but also to break up movement so that your eye kind of flows naturally. So a really important feature that I feel like we nailed was the lighting. And it's really important to consider what kind of tasks you'll be doing. Like maybe you want to snuggle up on the couch and read a book. So you're going to need some type of task lighting. For example, like a lamp next to you, or a floor lamp that will allow for a little bit more, light that floods on the wall so that you can read in other parts of the room. Also, decorative lighting is really important. So like specifically in this room, we did a chandelier, and the way that it was designed is it spreads the light onto the ceiling, and it so happens to spread the light in the same way that texture is on the wall. So it just ties everything together, and it really makes a space. So getting lighting right is really important. So the final piece is accessorizing, and it is a really important piece that some people commonly miss. So it's something that you need to consider in pairs. You also have to think about heights. It can also add color or texture. A really popular way to do that is, to add a pop of color, but it's really important to make sure that it also doesn't feel cluttered and that it's just the right amount, and it really just infuses that person's personal style into the space. Another way to think about it is that it is just the jewelry. It's the last final piece, and it just really ties it all together and makes it feel complete. The master bedroom is another space that we tackled, and it is one of probably the most important spaces because they spend a lot of time in there, and they really wanted to have more storage. They wanted to have the beautiful bedding set, to have that kind of like a luxury hotel feel, but they also wanted it to be casual. And we also just wanted to make sure that there was parts and pieces that really made it feel like it was theirs. So we refaced the fireplace, meaning that we gave it a new life. And we also added wallpaper to the back wall of the headboard. It just really added some texture. It also throws the light differently. Just really adds an element of luxury to the space. Draperies and shades, and top to bottom, it was just really outfitted with everything it needed. So the bedding was a really luxurious piece of the design, and it was all custom down to the pillows. The sheets have a nice fancy trim on it, as well as the pillows, and it kind of gives an approachable, casual feel, again, with that linen, and can never have too many throw pillows, of course. And also the waffle sheet, allows you to kind of, make it a little bit warmer if you need to. Another element of the design was the color blue. So initially the walls were blue, and although she loves blue, it just wasn't the right way to use it. So we incorporated it in different ways by putting them into the built-ins, also kind of popping that color in the draperies, and as well as the lighting. The lamps are a nice shade of blue, but they're just done in different ways. They're just, whether it's textured, but being able to incorporate that feel-good color in a different way that, wasn't all over the wall and just infused in different spots was definitely the way to go. So a part that you can never forget about a good built-in is the hardware on the cabinetry itself. So in this particular situation, we put these darling bees on the very top, but then we put some different pieces on the bottom. And mixing and matching, I think, can be a really beautiful way to add some character. Another piece of hardware or lighting that we added was a fandelier. Now this is just a way that you can get something that's really decorative but still have some really great function. So that's something to consider, definitely to add as an element. For her office space, she had some really large bookcases, but they were like a wood finish, and they were really dark, so they weren't really translating to her style very well. So we did decide to kind of take them apart and recompartmentalize them and redesign them and put them together in different ways, add crown molding in a different way, and add a nice color that incorporated the entire design, and re-put them together and put them in places that worked for what she needed. The larger desk, as well as, the books, but we also wanted it to feel symmetrical. So we kind of that's another reason why we had to rearrange those things. We also had to consider, where's the printer gonna go? Where is all the paper gonna go? So that was another reason why we did something like that. But also an oversized desk. That was really a great element of the design too. And then the chandelier, you can't forget lighting. So the chandelier was something that, she could be able to look up, during her breaks and kind of have a nice, element to look at all times during the day. And then, of course, we couldn't forget draperies on the side, and, of course, the rug, the hand-knotted rug. The early ties every color together, and it really just completes the design. So she wanted a seat in the office, and she wanted it to be cozy, somewhere where she could curl up, somewhere where her kids could maybe also curl up. So we landed on a boucle swivel chair. So it looks like a teddy bear, and it's just soft, and you can move it to kind of turn to any part of the room. And it really is just the perfect accent for that room, and it really just finishes it off. So a really valuable piece of the interior decor experience that I offer is that we go through mood boards and layouts, floor plan layouts, and that was really valuable for this family because then they could see where all the parts and pieces, either existing furniture or furniture that we were considering, like how it would make the space flow or what would actually fit, or maybe there was a preference of where something was placed. But between the mood boards and the floor plans, they're extremely valuable, and but also not to mention 3Ds, just really kind of helps the whole overall experience so that you don't miss certain things and have to kind of go back. It also helps avoid expensive mistakes so that you're not getting something that's either too big or too small, and you know what to expect. Now, it's definitely something that takes time to plan up front, but it's definitely worth it. So the final piece of a decor project is that everything comes together very quickly at the end. So we spend all this time planning, putting things together, ordering things in all to the same place, and then we pick a reveal day or installation day, and it all happens within 1 to 2 days, and it's done. So it's something that is just really exciting, and definitely is all worth it in the end. So my favorite piece in the formal living room is the chandelier. It's just, it has such a good feeling, and the way it spreads the light is just gorgeous. Definitely recommend lighting as a big feature. My favorite part of the master bedroom is the built-in. That's definitely built-ins and cabinetry are one of my specialties, but it just adds so much character and storage and space for accessorizing, and it just has all the good things. So that's one of my other favorites. And then in the office, oh, the bigger the desk, the better. So I think honestly, just like the functionality of having a huge desk is awesome, not to mention the amazing light that comes into that room. So, but yeah, having a big functional workspace is really key for sure.